What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this S.H.I.E.L.D. 3-pack. This is one I'm very excited about. I like that we've got Nick Fury, Senior and Junior. Some other good things in here. See what we've got going on. Let's check it out. Now tuning into the Encountered Culture.
Anyway, stop being me place. Counter-culture, it's in your face. It's fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.
As promised, today we'll be taking a look at the S.H.I.E.L.D. 3-pack. We've got Dum Dum Dugan, Nick Fury Jr., and Sharon Carter. Let's see what we've got going on. So this pack is loaded with accessories. You can see the effect pieces, lots of weapons in here, so many extra hands, extra heads. There's a lot. This is what I like to see, and I think a lot of us like to see, right? There's a lot going on here. Plenty of options, gives you things to do. Not only do you have, Nick Fury Jr., but if you didn't have the previous Nick Fury Sr. or you want to replace that one, you've got that extra head in here too, and it looks good. Your Sharon Carter, everything, the head sculpts look so good in here. All right, let's see. Flip it to the side. Nice imagery here on the side of the box. Flip it to the back. You've got Dum Dum Dugan, Nick Fury Jr., and Sharon Carter. All of this looking really good. I like the images that we chose here. You can see Nick Fury in the back there too. Important information down at the bottom. Flip it to the side. Some more comic-inspired imagery there. Let's get them out of the box. Fresh out of the box here. Cool-looking figures. Lots of hands. I'll get into the accessories in a moment. You've got extra heads. Dum Dum Dugan, long overdue for me personally. But I like what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of potential here, especially for army building. If you already have like those Pulse exclusive packs or even that Nick Fury that came out a few years back, there's a lot that you can do with these to really build out your S.H.I.E.L.D. army. So this is a pack that I bought two of off the jump because there is a lot that I can do with this and really continue to build out S.H.I.E.L.D. The costumes are slightly different too, so it does add like a slight modification to the uniform types, which I like that because overall they look uniform, but there are some slight differences, so kind of dig it. Now that's how you do accessories. I mean, they honestly, like the Hasbro team, Marvel Legends team, they could just pack all of this into a thing and then sell us that, right? I personally would love that. I know a lot of people would. So maybe we got something here. All right. But I mean, this pack is just loaded with accessories, and that is something I love to see. I have so many options here. I can use these for other figures too. Smoke effects are one of my favorite things in the Marvel Legends line for effects, so I always love getting those. And you've got the blast effects too and some knives. All right, that is what I'm talking about. Taking a closer look, we'll kick it off with Nick Fury Jr. Definitely a character a lot of people have been waiting for. I'm excited because it's another character in the display. I like that. So good to have him. I also got the Captain America that shout out to Dan Hu for the idea, for swapping this onto that Captain America. So I will do that in just a moment here. But really good looking figure. Lots of accessory stuff going on here. Some really great looking work on this. Little details painted in. You've got your S.H.I.E.L.D. logo. That looks good. Holster down here. Good looking through the boots. Just a nice looking figure. All right, let's take a look at some articulation here. The head, he'll look down. Chin will touch the chest, so you can get it all the way down there. Head will go back to there, so you do get a nice amount of upward angle for him looking up. Little bit of rock side to side and plenty of movement all the way around. Really nice looking face sculpt too, if I hadn't mentioned that already. Some really good detail in there. I like it a lot. All right. Butterfly joints, so you get plenty of movement back and forth for those. Arm will go all the way around and out to about there. Upper bicep cut, and then double jointed pinless at the elbow right there. You have your basic ab crunch and hip swivel. I don't think it matters that much on these types of characters. There's a lot of stuff to hide any sort of weird movement or imperfection. I think they look good. I think they have the right amount of articulation for these characters. All right. Leg will kick out to about there. It will kick back to about there and then out to there. Upper thigh cut, double jointed, pinless at the knee. And then you do have a boot cut and your hinge and swivel at both your ankles and at your wrist. No major gaps that you'll be able to see because, again, the costume accoutrement really does help hide that stuff. So I like what I'm seeing here. Moving over to Dum Dum Dugan. This was one that I was really looking forward for the update. I have the older version. We'll see him in a little bit. But when this was announced, I was super excited about that. I think this looks so much better than that original version. So I am absolutely looking forward to replacing him in the display. You see you have the double strap here as opposed to the single strap with Nick Fury. A lot of good looking detail in here as well. S.H.I.E.L.D logo painted on the side. A couple of ding imperfections on the shoulder there, but all good. Bowler cap looks really nice. Mustache is on point. It's a good looking expression. Pretty neutral, but almost a grimace in a way. So I feel like that's a really good middle ground for a facial expression there. Articulation is going to be exactly the same. I guess the only major difference because of the second strap here would be any movement on this shoulder, but it does not appear to be hindered by that whatsoever. The head will look down and then look up, and you can get the head back pretty far. So you do get some good movement there, just in case you're wondering, but everything else remains the same. And if you just wanted to have both versions of Nick Fury in the costume, that Dum Dum Dugan head will pop right off, and then you can have both of these guys in the display if you only bought the one pack and you don't care about Dum Dum Dugan. So I do like the idea of using this Commander Rogers costume. As I said, shout out to Dan Hu for planting that idea in my head here. But of course, that would, it'll involve some painting, for those of you who are into that. Not really my strong suit, so I probably will not be taking it down that road, but it certainly would look cool to have him in this costume as he did originally appear in this costume. So just a little food for thought and a little extra if you were curious about how this Nick Fury head would look on there. I think that looks really good. That works out super well. Obviously, no painting involved there. But, there's a lot that you could do with this. I think a lot of people are going to go the route, though, and, get that neck painted and make a really nice Nick Fury Jr. out of this. Moving over to Sharon Carter, a figure that I did not realize that I needed an update of, but have come to realize that I did need an update of, right? So I was perfectly content with the Sharon Carter that we received, I think back in the Onslaught wave. I didn't need her to be all that great on the shelf, right? She was just a character to fill in some space. But this looks so good. These face sculpts, they don't cease to amaze me, right? So they're doing some very nice work here. And that goes for both of these head sculpts. I mean, just really great detailing in there. They blow the other one out of the water, and you'll see that momentarily. But just thought of the day, I suppose. All right, nice design throughout. You've got some good painting on the zipper areas there. Holster is really nice. This is like a really nice looking holster accessory. So I do like that. All of your silver buttons and buckles are painted in. So that it's a minor thing, but it really does take it to the next level. As far as articulation goes, she will look down to their chin almost touching the chest. The head will not go back very far on this sculpt because of the hair, so you will be restricted back there. Arms will go all the way around. You are on a butterfly here, so you get a little bit of extra movement. It's not a super big amount, like you're not getting much going forward. You do get some going back, but it's a little extra movement, right? Uh, Upper bicep cut. Of course, we are on the Target exclusive Black Widow body, so you know you have a lot of movement as far as your articulation is going to go. You're going to get a pretty decent amount. Although they did no, you still have that. So all right, so yeah, you've got the diaphragm, you've got everything. So basically, all of the parts are going to be that Black Widow with some minor variations. These boots, for instance, are a different part, which they give her some good traction down here, so she stands quite easily. So, not anything new as far as your articulation goes. You can see, I mean, even up to the collar piece, we are just reusing effectively the entire suit here, which is a good thing. It's a great body to use. Articulation wise, I wouldn't want it any other way, right? So I will take that. You do get your alternate head here, which gives you a lot more range of motion. You know, she'll be able to look up much further with that. You do get a little bit of tilt side to side and plenty of motion all the way around. So if you're looking for a little bit more, this is probably the option to go with. For comparison, here is Sharon Carter backed up against your Target exclusive Black Widow, which she utilizes for her body, and then the previous version of Sharon Carter, which, as I said, was not a figure I realized needed an update, and it's one of those things you don't realize it until it's in your hand, right? So absolutely would recommend updating this figure, unless you know you're not that attached to updating and you just want characters in the display, right? Then it's maybe not a big deal. Well, it's definitely not a big deal. Just it's just one of those things that it really does show how far things have come in the last few years for the line. So I think it's a worthy upgrade, but totally understand if you're like, it's Sharon Carter. I don't need a Sharon Carter in my display. So take that for what you will. As a side note, these new heads, they do fit on the old body, but keep in mind, like, this old body is on this sort of very stationary neck peg, so it shortens the neck on her, so it does not look all that great. For comparison here, we can take a look at the Nick Fury from a few years ago. You can see this new face sculpt is miles above that. The original's not like a bad face sculpt at all, but just the amount of detail in this new one really makes a big difference. Of course, being on a different buck as well, you know, coming from the Bucky Cap mold to this, it really does give you some size variety. I mean, between like this and the Army Builder version ones, I have a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. agent bodies in there. So it is good to get a little bit of size difference just to kind of, you know, make it look a little varied. And then that'll allow me to turn this guy into just a random S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, right? So like how we've come with this looks so much better. For your size comparison here, I've got Dum Dum backed up against his previous iteration. You can see this is a vast improvement. It's a nice bigger body, a much nicer looking figure. It doesn't have all that wonky like ball hip joints or weird finger articulation stuff. So I am certainly on the side of this being a worthy upgrade. A lot of people are probably like, why do I need this guy? But if you have any sort of shield display, you want to get as many characters as you can in there, right? So I'm happy with it. I like it. I think it was long overdue. I'm here for it. No complaints on my end. Like what I've got going on here. Folks, so there you have it. There is your S.H.I.E.L.D. 3-pack with Dum Dum Dugan, Nick Fury Jr., and Sharon Carter. Of course, as you see here, I do have a couple of extras. I did buy 2 packs because there is some good army building potential there. And this way I can have, you know, everybody up there at the same time. So I think if I had one complaint about this entire box set is maybe I wish it was a 4-pack. So if you're just going to have Nick, you know, if you're going to have Nick Fury Jr. and give the alternate head, maybe put both in there. and then throw in some of those generic like mask heads, and then this way you have plenty of potential. But that's only if I'm really digging for something. I don't have any complaints about this box set, actually. I like it. It's almost perfect, right? It has so many accessories, so many hands, so many things going on, extra heads. So I personally don't have any negatives to say about this. It is a great 3 pack. I think if you're just now getting into Marvel Legends too, this is a great opportunity for you to consider like army building something. So you could pick up a few of these packs and then just kind of swap heads out and build out your own little shield army. So lot to think about there. I like this pack a lot. You've heard me talk about it. We've gone through a lot of things. I'm sure I haven't, put every little thing in there that everybody would like to see, but there's a lot going on in this pack, and you just have to understand that there are a lot of hands and head swappable options that you could go through. So hopefully you did get something out of it, though. That's the 2 cents, right? Do what you want with that information. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.